Wait, tell me which one. All right, let's take a look at 45 and 46. 35, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, so this is a really good one. All right. Oh, it's well, look at it. Okay, here we go. All right, you can sit here. It's all right, Ollie. It's nice, very nice, Ollie. All right. Eyes up now. All right, we're looking at 35. It says Maria has a bead that is 0.6 inches long. She wants to use the bead to fill a space that's 5/8 inches long. Will the bead fit? Well, we just have to figure out how big the bead is. Now, the problem we have is that one of them is in decimals and one of them as a fraction. Do you agree with that? So it doesn't matter to me which one you do. You either convert one to a fraction or one to a decimal. Yeah, let's just do that. That becomes 6/10, right? So now we're doing 6/10, which reduces down to 3/5, right? And so now you're just comparing 3/5 to 5/8. Remember how we did that? We just multiplied, right? Cross multiplied. So that became a 24, and that became a 25, right? So this is bigger than this. So the bead will fit, yes? Agreed? Just give me a second. All right, now the other one was, you asked me about, was 36. All the calories in 1 cup of milk come from fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Use the table to find the fraction of calories that come from protein. All right? Write the fraction in simplest form. All right? Now, we're dealing with the protein, right? So we don't know that fraction. That's the problem, right? But we can figure it out because all of them means it totals 1. You agree with this? So that means these two things added together are 0.56. Do you agree with that? So if I subtract that from 1, do you agree protein would be 0.44? Do you understand that? Or yeah, I'm going to show you. Yeah. So altogether, everything total, if I added everything up, the total would be 1. You with me? So all I did was I just said 1 minus 0.56. You agree with that? And then I would just make sure I line up the decimals right. It'd be 1.00 minus 0.56. You agree with that? And that would be the decimal 0.44. What? Yeah, just a minute. Let me finish this problem. What? Man, I'm not even done with this problem, guys. I'm in here working on the problem. You got your hand up. I'm thinking you have a question with what I'm doing. Does that make sense now to you? 0.44, right? And then they just want it as a fraction, I believe, right? So it would just be, yeah, 44 over 100, right? Then we can divide by 4 and get 11 over 25. Yes, sir.
How did you convert 3/5 into 22?
Well, I didn't. This was from our last test where we were comparing numbers. We're comparing the two.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you remember that now, right? Good job. Put that up. All right. You guys, you bring the metal one, and it's just clank, 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 clank all period long. Right? What? It's ridiculous, actually. Shh. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions with this from last night now? Anything else? Yes, sir. Yeah, let's look at 18. What's wrong?
Oh, wait, never mind.
Good. That's all right. Thank you.
I didn't get, like, the first couple ones with the repeating numbers.
don't know which one it is.
Like, for example, like 3 through 6, I think. Yeah, like 4 through 6, ones with an even numbers, like 5.
It's just 85 over 99. And 78 over 99. Do you remember that?
Oh, okay. It's just
That's all. It's just something you remember. All right. You're welcome. Yes. Good. Very good. All right. So I'm just going to pause it for a quick second. Let me collect the homework real quick. All right. Now, back to multiplying fractions. All right. Back to multiplying fractions. I'd like everybody to take a look at number 1. We're just multiplying those fractions. All right. Should be straightforward for us. All right. If I were to multiply those fractions for number 1, everybody should be able to tell me the obvious answer here is just what?
The obvious answer is 7.
Yeah, 7 over 16. Okay. So again, multiplying the fractions is that difficult. All right. The rule basically says you're going to multiply the numerators together, and then you are going to multiply the denominators together. That's how we're getting that. It's that simple. All right. Now listen to me. Just write the answer 7 over 16. You don't have to write the original problem. All right. If you can do the mental math, I want you to do the mental math. All right. So just like you should be able to just look up here at number 2, everybody should be able to look at number 2 and say that's just obviously what?
2 over 15.
Yes. Very good. 2 over 15. 2 over 15. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Oscar, this is what I'm talking about. I don't care. That's you're interrupting me again. All right, it's up there on the board. Just look at the board. These are the problems we're doing. You guys go out and go to the restroom and you come back and ask me a bunch of questions. That's not going to work. When you leave class and come back, you can't ask me a bunch of questions because you're not here to listen to the explanation. We can fix all that. I promise you. The page makes no difference because you're staring at the problems. If you don't know what it is, you can look where and get the information. That's right, on Backpack. You can go to Backpack and it'll tell you what we're doing. All right? But if you're looking at Backpack now, you're not going to hear what the explanations are, and in a few minutes you're going to be saying, how did you do that? Come on. I expect you to come to class prepared, ready to work. That's what I expect from everybody, without interruptions. If you have to take care of business, what do I want you to do? Take care of business without interrupting. That's what you're doing. That's what 7th and 8th grade is all about. Take care of your business without interrupting. All right? Now, back on track. All right? Now, number 3, we start a new lesson. All right? New problem with number 3. What can I do in number 3? Yes, sir.
Well, first you do 2 times 3.
No, you do not. What do we do?
Cross cancel.
Yeah, always on multiplication. Before you ever multiply, you always look to see if you can cancel. I'm not kidding about that. All right? I'm not going to listen to clank, clank, clank all period long. Did you hear me? All right? It's just, you should listen to the video. And all I hear all period long is clank, 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 clank. All right? It's a distraction. Come on, 7th grade, focus. Cross cancel. All right? Now, can we just multiply 2 times 3 and 3 times 16? Yes, but then we're going to have to do what? Reduce it. All right? So it's much quicker, much easier to just go ahead and reduce the fraction first. So if I reduce, he's exactly correct. We're going to cross reduce, which means, and I'm just going to, you don't have to write this down, but I'm just making sure I show everybody first. I would be dividing this by 3 and dividing this by 3. And when I do that, that becomes a 1, and this becomes a what? 1. And then I would be dividing by 2. Now, obviously, we don't have to do that. I'm just, again, showing you. This becomes a 1, and if I divide that by 2, that becomes an 8.
So if you're doing this and you
let's just do the problems and you'll see. This year I don't want you to make generalizations. We're just gonna do the problems. All right? Just gonna do the problems. What?
So do you always divide the problem numbers and
We're reducing the fractions. Guys, just let me finish the problem. Let me finish the problem. I'm not sure what's going on today. I'm reducing the fractions. That's what I'm doing. I'm reducing the fraction. All right? In a second, I'm going to say, do you understand? And you'll go, yes, or you'll go, no. If the answer is no, you ask me a question. And then I'm going to do number 4 together. And then if you understand it, you'll say yes. If you say, then you say help me. That's all. All right? So now I reduce this. All right? So here we go. When I reduce, now you just tell me, is it going to be positive or negative? Definitely what? Negative. Because the negative times a positive is a what? Is definitely a negative. So the answer out in front, let's put the negative out in front before we forget. And then 1 times 1 is 1. And then 1 times 8 is what? 8. So your answer after all that is just negative 1/8. Just negative 1/8. I just got it. We're at this pace, guys. We're never going to get anywhere. We're not going to get done. We have a lot of homework. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, William. How's number 3 to you? All I'm asking you about number 3. Okay, that's all I asked. Number 3. We're good. All right. Now we're probably going to do what? 4. Good. We're on track today now. All right. So number 4. All right. First thing we want to do, negative times a negative is a what?
Positive.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about the negatives. I try to tell kids you should try to figure out what the sign is going to be starting out. All right? That way you don't have to worry about making a mistake. All right, Weber, tell me. What do I do? Good. So what am I canceling? Good. And? Beautiful. Final answer. Yes. Okay, guys. 2/7. Now the reason why I'm talking to you like this is because I want you to know you got to let me have some time to explain as we go along, right? And your job at the end of the explanation is say yes, I got it, or no, I don't. Now's the time you ask. William, what?
How would you? So I know today is going to be all the but
I'm asking you about number 4.
I know. But there's no like sign to identify that as multiplication.
The parentheses are multiplication.
Oh.
You good now? All right. So actually, William, listen, that's a good observation. All right. So if I have 2 sets of parentheses like this, that just means what? Multiply. We never really, in advanced math, use a dot anymore either. It's always, everything is in what? Parentheses. Okay? That's a good observation. What? So you're only, did you get the 1 and the 7? How did I get a 1 here and a 7 here, Alden? Yeah. And how is this a 2 and this a 1? So what's the problem? 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 7 is 7. Happy? All right. Number 5. Here we go. What? Let me walk you through it first, and then you can do it. All right? This one's a little bit different. Why is it a little bit different? Yes, they're mixed fractions. So I have to convert them to what first? You have to convert them to improper. Whenever you're multiplying, you got to convert to improper fractions. And as a matter of fact, I want you to keep this in mind. When you get to advanced math, we don't really use mixed fractions. We always use what? Improper fractions. So all of your answers I want left is improper fractions. Everybody with me on this? That's pretty nice. All right, one last step. All right, so here we go. Now, a negative times a negative is a what? A positive. So I don't have to worry about the sign anymore. Come on now, pay attention. I'm doing it. Now, 4 1/2. Who can tell me 4 1/2 as an improper fraction?
It would be 9.
Over? Thank you. 9 over 2. Now we're going to multiply that by what?
10.
What?
10 over 9.
10 over 9. Now, does everybody understand I'm leaving out the negatives, right? Because we already said it was going to be a what?
Positive.
We already said it was going to be a positive.
And those can cross cancel.
What can cross cancel?
The 9
Cancel.
and 9 is still 1.
Right?
And the 2 and 10 deal 1 and 5.
So your final answer.
Is 5 over 2.
5 over what?
2. 1.
5 over 1. And what is 5 divided by 1? Say it.
5.
5. So your answer is 5. Bless you. Number 5 is 5. Number 5 is 5. All right, so now your job right now is, William did a great job explaining that. Is anybody having an issue now with number 5? Anybody having an issue? I don't think it was that hard, right? All right, like I said, the only thing different is what I'm talking about. You're not doing that anymore here. You hear me? I mean it. All right, it's no game to me. I'm responsible for you doing great. Not shooting hoops. That's what I said right here, buddy. That's what that is. 5. Yes.
Okay. On my
What are you talking about? I'm on number 5. Yeah, I don't want you doing that. You're messing me up. Stay with me. Stay with me. William, you're going to learn. I'm not playing around. I'm expecting more out of you guys. You're not little babies anymore. I mean it. It's not funny to me. Number 6. Here we go. Let's try to go improper fractions. Tell me, 2 1/2 is the same as what? 5 over 2. Beautiful. All right. Times, what's beautiful? 17 over 3. Now, again, I always like to try to tell kids, you always just double check the positives and negatives. So my answer is going to end up being, the answer is going to be negative. Beautiful. All right. Now, is there anything I can reduce? No, I don't think so, right? Because we're looking diagonally. 17 and 2, 5 and 3. All right. So now, negative. Let's put our fraction bar down. And of course, 2 times 3. Now you have to do mentally 5 times 17. Can you help me with that? 5 times 10. 5 times 7. 50 plus 35. There you go, kiddo. Look at that. 85 over 6. And that's my answer. That's the answer. Negative 85 over 6. Everybody happy with that? That wasn't too bad, right? Now that we're kind of in a groove here. All right, that's not bad at all. You don't have to cross cancel. If you don't cross cancel, that just means you're going to have to reduce at the end. Reducing at the end is much more difficult than reducing at the beginning. All right, hopefully you like what I said about leave it as an improper fraction. When you check your homework, it might convert it to a mixed fraction. If it converts it to a mixed fraction, you just look at the answer above that, and that'll tell you what the answer is. What?
But can you make it
You can do anything you want to do Or you can listen to what I'm telling you.
Because I've already did that.
That just means you're not listening. That's all. All right? It's like telling me if you like that and 1.5 is the same as 3 over 2, I'm not going to mark it wrong if you put 1.5.
Okay, so would it work the same way?
What do you mean?
Would it stay improper fraction on the test?
What did I say to do? Okay. You do it only on the homework then, Oscar. It's going to be a long year, Oscar. Long year, I'm telling you. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to do question number 8. I want to do question number 8. Z times Z. All right? Lily, tell me. No, you don't have to tell me I skipped something, right? What did I say at the beginning of class? Never mind. All right, Z. Tell me what to do. You're awesome. -3/7 times -3/7. Final answer. You're exactly correct. 9 over 49. Nothing to it. All right. The next one I want you to try is question number 10. All right, we're going to try question number 10 now. All right, the first thing I want you to do is just try to write it down. All right, so number 10, we would say 3/4 and then times x, which is 14/15 times, and now z, -3/7. Now, the main thing I want to talk about right now is whether it is a positive or a negative. What's the...
It's a negative because there's 3 things that you multiply.
Right. Or we can just say there's one negative, so it has to be negative. All right? One negative. All right, so the answer is negative. So let's put the negative out in front, then make the fraction bar. Now what we want to do is we just want to go through and see if we can reduce a few things. All right, now this is a little bit different because there's 3 fractions. Does it matter what you reduce first? No. Does it matter how you reduce? No. As long as you reduce a what? Number in the numerator and a number in the what? Denominator. That's the only thing that matters. All right? So what I want you to do is I want somebody to look at that now. All right? Morgan, tell me which one I can reduce.
3 and 15.
Beautiful. And that would reduce to what?
1 and 5.
That's right. That's a 1 and that's a 5. All right? What am I doing now?
7.
Beautiful. 7 becomes a, and 14 becomes a, beautiful. Look at that. Easy. Anybody else see anything else that can reduce? Davis. What can reduce? You see where we're at? What numbers can reduce? Look at the numbers on the top.
2 and 4.
There you go. What does that reduce to? Thank you.
7 and 2.
The 2.
4 reduces to 2.
Oh, Austin. Listen, hey, I'm telling you something. I'm just letting you know. Your sarcasm, your look, your laughing is going to end. Same with you. This is not how I'm operating. You guys think it's hilarious. I can easily have both your parents in tomorrow. Tomorrow morning when they drop you off. It's no problem for me. I have conferences all the time. People are allowed to speak without having you laugh. Seriously. You understand that? William, I'm not kidding. Every time I say something, you're smirking. Every single time. That's ending now. This is not how I roll class. It's not how I operate. People are allowed to speak freely. Continue. What was it?
Okay, so the 4 can reduce to 2, and the 2 can reduce to 1.
That is exactly correct. Anything else? No. So who wants to help me out with the final fraction? Tell me. Good for you.
The final fraction is going to be -3 over 10.
Beautiful. -3 over 10. All right. Does everybody agree? We've done the multiplication before. It's not really that difficult. All right. So now what I want to do is, I know I'm jumping around. That's what I told you at the beginning of class. All right. Don't write anything down. All right. What we're going to do is I'm just going to jump around. I want to do the absolute hardest problems I can do with you right now because we're running out of time. All right. So what we're going to do is, right off the bat, is we're going to do question number 40. So I want everybody to try to write down question number 40. And then I feel like if you're good at number 40, then you should be in good shape. All right, you should be in good shape. Now I see couple problems here. The first problem I see is 7. 7 is the same as
7 over 1.
7 over 1. So let's rewrite that. -9 over 10 times 7 over 1. Now I reach the next problem. Tell me. Good. That's correct. Tell me. Yes, 7 over 3. Times, and then just 1 over 21. All right, now I need some help reducing. Thank you. What am I going to reduce?
7.
Good job. 7 and 21. That becomes a what?
7 becomes 1 and 21 becomes a 3.
Perfect. Is there anything else you see that we can reduce? Always look on the top and always look on the bottom. That's right. It doesn't matter. Remember what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter as long as one is on the what? Top and one is on the what? Bottom. You can always reduce them. All right? So now we're going to cross the 9 out and make it a what? Perfect. And then we're going to cross the 3 out and make it a what? A 1. That is correct. Oscar?
3 at the top and 3 at the bottom.
That's exactly right. The 3 at the top still can be reduced again. And the 3 on the other side is a 1. All right? Now, how many negatives are there? How many negatives, guys? 1. So the answer is what?
-7.
It's negative. And then go ahead, Oscar. Just knock it out. 7 over 10. Now, I think if you can do 40, you can do them all. Does everybody agree with me? That's not that hard. Right? It's not that hard. Now listen, I don't want to say something because I'm really not grumpy, but I just have to have respect for everybody in here. You understand what I'm saying, right? I think everybody should have freedom to say something and be completely wrong, and that's perfectly fine with me. You understand what I'm saying? All right, I want you guys to participate. All right? Now, again, also there are going to be times when I put the homework assignment up, but we never get to it enough. So I don't want to give you a whole bunch of homework. All right? So how much time do we have before the bell rings?
Right, so it's 18, and we leave at
You got like
6. We leave at 27, so we have like
9 minutes?
9 minutes.
All right, so let's do a few more problems. All right, let's do a few more problems. And I'm specifically going to target the hard ones. All right, so now I want to do question number 39. All right, I want everybody to grab 39. All right, I'm going to post it right here so you can see it. And then I want everybody to see if they can do it. And if you can do number 35, then I feel like then you'll be good for tonight with the assignments. What? Nope, I don't need your help. I need you to do the problem right now. Give you 30 more seconds. 10 seconds. All right, let's hear an answer.
Negative 6 over 3.
What did you get?
2 over 1. Negative 2.
Oh wait, I
Negative
didn't
2.
read
Oh, I didn't. 2 over 1.
Say-
2 over 1.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Negative 2.
Negative 2?
2.
2?
Negative 3. 4.
Now listen, we should never be wrong with the positives or negatives. So let's just everybody look at that real quick. How many negatives are on the board?
3.
So it's automatically what? It's automatically negative. So if you made a mistake, that just probably means with your sign that you didn't go back and double check things. I don't ever reduce, right? I just automatically write my answer is going to be negative. Or my answer is going to be negative. Now, I really prefer that you rewrite it as negative 6 over 11 times, well, not the negative, of course, 4 over 1. And then if I move that, what's it going to be? What's that mixed fraction to an improper? Did you have it? 2 3/4. Yes. Times 11 over 4, beautiful, times 1/3. All right. Now, Oscar, what can I reduce?
4, 4, and 3, and 6.
Wow, hold up. 4 and 4 becomes,
1.
and then,
3 and 6 becomes 2 and 1.
right. And then what?
11.
That is correct. There you go, guys. Come on, that's the hard one. That's the hard one. All right. So now the only thing left in the numerator is what? The only thing left on the top is what? 2, and the other thing on the bottom is a. So it has to be negative 2. Does everybody agree with that? That's not bad. Right? Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
All right. So now, here's what I want to do. I want to give you your papers back because I need to double check your papers. Here's what your homework is, guys. I'm giving you a good little break on your homework for some reason. All right. Tonight, this is what I want you to do. 15 through 31 odds, comma, 35, comma, 37. All right. So now you put that on the top of your paper, Oscar. Okay. This is the assignment. 15 through 31 odds and 35 through 37. Now, the only condition you have for this is that you have to do what to all your answers? Check your answers. Please check your answers. When you walk in tomorrow, you should say, I got them all right. All right? Or these are the 2 that I don't know how to do. And then I'll put them on the board for you. All right? But everybody should be able to check your work. All right? Everybody should be able to check your work. Now, we still have a few minutes. Do you agree? What time we get out? 28, right? Is that right, Alden? What time do we get out? 28?
We get out at 27.
27. So I got 4 minutes. I got time to give you your homework back. All right? So please get to work right now while I pass out your homework.